Hello, everyone. Leah Mintz here. And for those viewers who continue to see what's posted on my website, such as our live Healthy Haven shows and podcasts, you'll notice that I'm usually the one who is interviewed for some of my health topics. However, today I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman who I discovered in the Emotion Code Facebook group, who I found had a modality that is incredibly different and beneficial for not just the average person to consider using it on themselves, but for you practitioners out there to learn to use on your clients. It's called bulk energies. And ever since it's been brought to my attention, I literally speeded up my own healing process in a very, very painful area on my ankle, which I'll further discuss. But it's also speeded up the sessions for my clients as well. So I'd like to introduce to you the founder and master of removing bulk energies, Mr. Ian McLean. But let me tell you, he's never been interviewed before on this fascinating modality, which personally I think is a deprivation to the universe. So I'm honored to be the first to interview him on this podcast, which will be seen globally and forever on. And so, Mr. Ian McLean, welcome to my Healthy Haven podcast. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, your profession, how you discovered this incredible bulk energy modality, and how we can use it in our practice.
Yeah, hi Anna. Thank you for having me on your podcast. And yes, an honor to be interviewed. And yeah, so as you said, this is the first time I'm being interviewed on this. I've more or less been doing the bulk clearing on myself and my clients, and I shared it with a few people, a few other healers. But my guides have recently told me that this is my focus going forward. So my niche now is other healers, and to show them and to teach them about the bulk energy clearing, and to provide like shortcuts to help them fast track on this. So as you asked, like how did I get into this? I really got into energy healing because my mom had a heart problem, and everything we tried wasn't working. Like she did all the conventional stuff. She went to the doctors. She took the pills for the heart, and that kind of helped for a little while. And then slowly over the years, it got worse and worse. Where she'd have to take more pills, more things, and then she would have problems where she would have to go to the accident and emergency area. To stabilize the heart and so on. So really I got into energy healing first with machines, because I did my research, and so like some alternative healers were using machines like Rife machines and radionics. So I started with that, and then with the radionics I learned to do pendulum yes and no answers, and then I realized doing more research that you could do pendulum healing without a machine. So in essence, the person could become like a healing machine. And then I learned more. I saw some practitioners were doing emotion code, and when I checked it out, I said, well, that kind of suited my style. So I went into the emotion code and the body code and other things. But one thing I realized, like on working on my mom, myself, and some people that I did sessions for, I realized that I do healing work on them, and they will get some benefit, but it wouldn't last. Maybe after a day or two, the symptoms would start to come back. So then I'll do a session again, and they say, okay, I'm feeling better. But then, they needed frequent sessions. So that was okay doing on my family, but for people who were like clients who were paying, they wouldn't pay for sessions so much. They would probably just do a session every 2 weeks or 1 week, if they had the finances. So that was a constraint. So I realized that some people had more things to clear than others. So that's how I started, you know, asking questions and trying to find out, what's really going on, because I've done sessions with some people, and one session the issue is fixed and like they're amazed. And then other people, I'm doing so much sessions and it's like one step forward and one step backwards. So
Yeah.
so in the end, we're just like stuck. We're not really moving forward.
Right,
And
right.
so that's how I started to explore
Well, I
about that.
must tell you, I appreciate how you explain that, because I can relate to a lot of what you just said, obviously, because I approached you and I had the most excruciating ankle pain ever, literally on the outside of my left ankle. I went to chiropractors, masseurs, physical therapy. I did the emotion code several times on myself as well. Pain still there. It did work. It's just, it was temporary. Like it was really still temporary. Like it a little bit go away, but I would still poke it. I could still feel it. Then I came to you and you taught me how to do the bulk energy, and I did it on myself with your supervision. And I'm not kidding you, as you know, 20 minutes later, I think we were still on the call, even 20 minutes later, I'm poking, and I'm really poking hard because I want to see how the pain is really truly gone. And it was. But here's
Yeah.
the thing. I was so ecstatic. It lasted, it was gone for 2 weeks, like 2 weeks. I was just doing every activity, no pain whatsoever. Now, here's the thing. I will admit, 2 weeks later, it did reappear again. And I asked, is there a new set of bulk energies to remove? And sure enough, there were more layers. So it's very possible, because that's what we're talking about right now. So can you discuss how new layers can reoccur? Like, how can someone understand that it is very possible that new layers can occur?
Yeah, so what happens? Well, some people might just get a few things stuck at the time. So it's easy to clear in sessions. But persons that need bulk clearing. So by bulk clearing, what I define that is where you get more energies stuck in you to clear than you can process in a session or a day. So on average, that could be like 50 emotional energies. Um, it- so what happens, like when a healer's doing the clearing, remember your subconscious wants to protect you. So usually you only get what you can process. So usually you wouldn't get more. Well, some practitioners might just get 10 things to clear in a session, or 20. But if the person could really clear a lot, then they could probably do 50 or 100 if they could process that safely. But with bulk energy clearing, so what happens, some people get so much energy stuck in them that they need to clear in bulk to see results. So the first problem there is how do you clear so much in bulk without going into a healing crisis? So that's where in my journey, the first thing I did was to ask for my existing guides and helpers and angels to help with the session, and to help to be specific, to help me with the processing for the session. And with that, I was able to clear, hundreds at a time. But then I kept, finding that there's more and more. So that's how I over time I expanded the network of helpers so that I could bulk clear more and process more. Right.
Okay.
So going back to your question, what was happening to you is when we did the first set of stuff, the first session with you, I did the energetic upgrade, which is a fast track way where instead of you spending years to increase the capacity of your bulk clearing, through the energetic upgrade, you're able to have like a bridge to my network of helpers. So when you do the bulk clearing, they will help with the clearing and the processing. So what happened with you is we only went to a certain amount of upgrades. So your capacity was a certain amount. And that was okay for what was on the surface. But once that was cleared, more things were coming up to the surface, and they were bigger than what you could bulk clear at that time. So that's why the pain came back. Hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it pretty well does. I mean, the way I look at it, it's kind of like the emotion code. We have layers and layers of stuff, and sometimes we could. So let me put it to you this way. Here, this is what I've been doing. So correct me if I'm wrong. So this is how I would approach a client. Let's say they came to me with a shoulder pain. I would start with a percentage. I'd say, what percentage is your shoulder pain? And I'd work my way up. Is it over 50%? And their subconscious mind knows exactly what percentage. So I'd say, is it 50? And if it says, is it over 50? I'd go, is it 50? 55, 60, 65. I'd work my way up. Ideally, of course, we want to be at 100. Now, if they say it's under 50%, then I start backwards and I start, is it at 5%, 10%, 15, 20? I work my way up. Now, the next question I ask is, let's say I find the percentage. They're 75, their shoulder is 70, let's say 50%, 55% content. I have work to do now to get it to 100, right? So I ask, can it be done by just removing negative stored emotions? It would say yes or no. Then I ask, can I remove it in bulk form? Can I remove this pain on their shoulder in bulk? If it says yes, then hooray, I know that my session is going to be very quick and snappy and short. Now all I have to do is ask, how many bulk energies are we going to remove? Is it going to be 5,000, 10,000, 15,000? And then I ask my master guides, because thanks to you now I have more upgrades. So I ask, how many upgrades do I need? Sometimes you told me I don't even need to ask how many upgrades, just remove them. And I remove the bulk. Now, if they say, no, I cannot remove it in bulk energies. And I have found situations where I was working on someone's organ, there was no bulk energies there. It was just the emotions. And I just did the traditional emotion code that we learned with Bradley Nelson, Dr. Bradley Nelson. And I just did one layer at a time. It's very time consuming, but it was done and it's effective still. But we want snappy now. These days, everybody wants it quick. Let's just do it quick. How fast can we do it? So the beauty, I would say, of the bulk energy is to find out if we can use the bulk energy and then remove it all in one shot. So according to what I just said, is that done correctly? Did I approach, and then how I would remove it, just in case people are wondering, how do I test? Well, I test your subconscious mind using my pendulum. There are other practitioners, of course, that do the muscle testing, the sway method when you go back and forth, the O-ring. There's many ways to test. My favorite and my most effective for me is the pendulum. And then, being that I work on clients all over the world remotely, especially after COVID, they could no longer come and see me in person. So now I learned to love that because it's easier for them. They don't have to drive down here. I can just do it much quicker too. And then I use either me as their surrogate using my magnet. I just go over my governing meridian with my magnet, or on their pictures. I always tell people, text me a picture of yourself and I'll just sway the magnet over my phone with their picture on there. So both those ways work. I guess I just want to hear from you. Is this done correctly? Am I going about it correctly? And is it possible that not always will you find bulk energies in every issue?
Yeah, so what you said is correct. And that method works. So some people just don't need bulk clearing. So there's a lot of people who do not need bulk clearing. So you can muscle test at the start of the session. Do they need bulk clearing? Yes or no? If it's no, then you do the session as normal and clear things one at a time. But if you get yes, they need bulk clearing.
And it's a hip parade. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
And then so people who need bulk clearing, not everything may be bulk clearing,
Okay.
Maybe how things got stuck. Maybe some things got stuck in bulk, and then other layers were things one at a time. So when you're doing the session, you also check for the issue that you're working on. Do I clear in bulk or do I do it normal, one by one?
Okay, good.
And let the muscle testing guide you, or your pendulum.
Right.
Answers.
Well, what I've been doing, I've actually kept track of some of the clients, and I would say at this date we removed 20,000 bulk energy. Is there more to do? And I'll ask, and it'll say yes. And some clients actually show me, like in their subconscious, it says come back in 3 days. So in 3 days, I'll make a note on my calendar, go back to that client and remove the same issues with more bulk energy stuck there. So till it's gone, I mean, the goal is to get to zero, right? So that's what I've been doing. Okay, good. Well, thank you for blessing that I've done that right. The other thing I want to talk to you about or ask you is upgrades. So you gave me 11 upgrades altogether. And I'm about to remove let's say I'm about to remove someone's issues. For curiosity, I will ask, how many upgrades do I need? Upgrades, I'd like you
Yeah.
to elaborate on that. I assume, like you were mentioning before, they're your helper, they're your master guide. Eventually, I want you to just emphasize that a little bit more to people so they understand that. But what happens to a practitioner, for example, that doesn't have many upgrades or any upgrades, and they just are doing their basic work? Can they still remove bulk energies? And like, is it just going to take longer for them, or how does that work? And also, please clarify exactly what upgrades are for the people to understand,
Yeah.
and how you're able to offer them to the practitioners.
Yeah. Yeah. So a healer or practitioner, what they can do, so if they don't have any of my upgrades, but they want to try the bulk clearing, the first thing that they can do is, when they're working, well, say they're working on themselves, as example, whatever issue they're working on, they could muscle test. So what I said before, sometimes your subconscious trying to protect you would not tell you that there's more things to clear in bulk, because that could be putting them in an unsafe space if it's too much to process. So how you'd frame the question to muscle test is, you would ask, if I work on this particular issue, so say you had, say your shoulder was hurting, maybe there's a misalignment and there's emotional energy stuck there. So you can muscle test. Well, first of all, you can muscle test like how many total energies would I need to clear for that? And say they get like 15 or 20, right? That's right now what's safe to clear. So then they could reframe the question and they could ask the subconscious. If I ask my existing guides and helpers, so that would be like angels, your guardian angels, whatever helpers you have, wherever. So if you ask if my existing helpers were to help me with the session and to help with the processing, how many total energies could I clear for this shoulder issue? And then you'll muscle test. So if you have helpers that could help you with the session and do processing to help you, then when you muscle test, you'll get more than the 15 or 20 that you got. So, and it's different for different people. Some people get, they can now clear like maybe 100 energies or emotions. Some get hundreds, some get thousands, and they have some that could go even more off the bat. So that means they have a lot of helpers already, or the helpers that they have could do bulk clearing already. And that's how you could start.
Okay, so it sounds like the more upgrades you have, the more bulk energies you can remove. Is that correct?
Yeah. So that was just asking like what existing helpers you have. So with the upgrades, I'll explain that. So I've been doing this since 2019. So that's like um, about 4 years. So over the years, as I kept clearing more and more, and realizing that I have more to clear, like I built a network. I kept asking for more help, and more help came to help with the sessions. So over the years, I built up a bigger network and was able to bulk clear more. So to give you an idea, like it took me about 3 years before I could bulk clear any trillions. All right. So it kind of started slowly to get more and more help. But after that, like the next year, it went like exponential. So it grew a lot since then.
That's amazing. So how do you offer it to people? Like, how do you pass it on to other practitioners?
Yeah,
Like, you're offering your guides and angels
yeah,
to others,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So um so what my guides told me recently is that like how they were telling me to teach other practitioners how to do bulk clearing. What they also told me to do is to fast track them, because if they had to go through what I went through to reach the capacity to bulk clear what is needed, some of them I get frustrated because it might take too long and the process will be too slow. So what my guides told me is that I could do a energetic upgrade whereby I would connect them energetically to my network of helpers. So it's like a bridge from them to me, to my helpers. And that way, like right away, they will have access to my helpers to do bulk clearing. So they don't have to go through the long process. Right. So how the upgrades work, like the first upgrade gives capacity in the thousands. Upgrade 2, the reaching capacity in the millions. Upgrade 3 is billions. Upgrade 4 is in the trillions. And as I said, that took me like 3 years to reach into the trillions. And if somebody does a session with me for energetic upgrade, like I could do multiple in one session. So if we do 4 upgrades in one session, like right away from that day forward, they will be able to bulk clear in the trillions if that is needed in them, and whichever clients need that amount of bulk clearing, they will have that capacity. Right. So the upgrades keep increasing depending on how much bulk clearing is needed, like the severity of the person. So I actually have up to upgrade 25 for bulk
You do it
clearing.
all in one shot? Like, can you upgrade? Like, if someone says, you know what, just upgrade me the max today, are you able to do that, or it's not effective to do that many in
Well,
one?
the maximum I could do right now is 16 upgrades
16 in one session.
in one session.
Okay.
On my website, I offer up to 12. But if somebody wants even more than that to fast track it, like the maximum I could do right now is 16 upgrades in one day.
And it's permanent, right? Like, once you have it, this gift is forever. Like, it's not like these angels just disappear on the practitioner. They're there, and
Yeah.
they're your angels and master guides that are gifted from you to the practitioner. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's the network of helpers who have come over the last 4 years to join in to help with the bulk clearing. Yeah, so once you do the energetic upgrade, you're connected to the network of helpers, and that'll be forever. You'll have that help,
Okay,
as long as you want it.
beautiful. And then you receive them, just to clarify again what you were saying, you received your helpers by simply asking for them over the years. You were just praying and meditating into the higher realm, I guess, and bringing in the greater people up there, whatever you want to call them, spirits up there, and bringing them into your field. Okay.
Yeah, it says ask and you'll receive. So I kept asking and
yes,
and I received.
and then
But
it
was a slow process. So as I told you, it was slow, but after
well worth it.
A while, it just took off. So
you tested yourself after you brought them in and saw exactly how many were in your field ready to help you. Like, you're able to tell how many responded to your ask and you shall receive request.
Well, it's a lot. So like I stopped counting because it just got so big, So
they must have really loved you. I mean, I don't know how many other people got this great result, or any result, because I don't know anyone that's done what you've done. So I'd like to end it at that. I want to say it was a true pleasure to have you here and share your great benefits of this modality, not just to clients and practitioners, but practitioners go and use it on their clients, right? So for all practitioners, right? So for all you practitioners who wish to get the same upgrades or more that I got, please contact Ian. And I can personally tell you that I had it done on myself. It worked very quickly, like I was mentioning with my ankle. I've used it now. It is permanent in my practice right now. Like, I'm going to be asking every single time because it's just such a shortcut. Okay. And the clients have been getting amazing results. So I want to encourage you to continue checking out my website for upcoming shows and more podcasts, including this one. This one will be on my podcast collection, as well as on YouTube, on Rumble, and a bunch of other social media. So he is now going to be seen globally for his amazing modality. And I wish you all optimal health. And Ian, I thank you so much for taking the time to be here and explain this revolutionary modality that you discovered with the world. Can you please very quickly tell people how they can reach you? Where can we find you?
Yeah, so my website is ian-mclean.com. Ian is spelled IAN. McLean is MCLEAN.com. Or we could probably put links to the video.
I'm going to. I will 100% be doing that. Yes, I just thought if you wanted to just verbalize it as well, but there you can be reached. And what would a session look like? It explains on your website what a session would look like as well.
Yeah. So when you go to my website, if you click on services or to book, the book online, you'll see the services. And so there's two parts. So there's one is the coaching. So if you select to do the coaching session, which is 1 hour, I will coach you on how to do the bulk clearing. Plus I'll be doing an energetic upgrade for you. All right. So you could do that for the coaching part and to learn how to do the bulk clearing. And then separately, I also have the energetic upgrades. So if you want to go like a quick way, so like say you did some of the coaching sessions and you know how to do the bulk clearing, and you just want to do the upgrades to reach the capacity that you need for yourself and your clients, you could book like a 4-in-1 session energetic upgrade, or 8 or 12 upgrades in one. And
that sounds great.
Yeah, that's basically
that's
it.
exciting.
So I have a special on right now. Since I am now starting to teach the bulk clearing, I'm offering healers, like other practitioners, if they're interested in learning about the bulk clearing. I'm offering the first coaching session for free. And in the session, I'll also do an energetic upgrade for you for free. So you could start trying it out. And we'll put a link to that. So I have a coupon code that you can apply.
Beautiful.
So we'll put that in the link for anybody. Well, this is for healers only, if any healers are interested in learning how to do this.
Super, super generous. Thank you so much. You are making a revolutionary change in this world. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to explain it and sharing this wonderful, wonderful modality to practitioners, clients. If you want to get it firsthand from the master himself, Ian McLean, you can go and get a session from him directly, or practitioners, take advantage of these upgrades and all that he has to offer. Ian, thank you so, so much. I wish you all optimal health. And that's our mission, is to get everybody in optimal health in the quickest way possible, right?
Yeah,
no
exactly.
No pill involved. Let's just do it this way. All right. Thank you so, so much. I'm going to end by saying again, thank you so much. And Ian, God bless you for what you're doing. You're a big, big revolutionary change for everybody right now. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you, Anna. Thank you for interviewing me. And it's a pleasure being on your podcast.
Thank you. My pleasure having you. Bye, everyone. Wish you all optimal health.